Man, you really got me thinking about squats now. It's a good workout. How long should I be able to hold that?
Forever.
Well, if you are in an Asian culture with
And that's
long
what they do to
torso,
relax?
shorter limbs, and a bigger head.
Which I have none of.
Yeah, people can hold that position for like a full 12-hour day.
I do the Italian squat.
Which is what? You squat like that and then go, hey, when you hear your family.
That's kind of a
That's a
cholo
spicy-
squat.
Well, basically the same culture, man.
That's true. All derived from Latin.
Yeah. Hey, forget about it.
Oliver brought up the Olympics, and then I kind of agreed with him, at least in one aspect.
So when is it? Is next year the real Olymp? What, like, we got Winter Olympics, we got regular Olympics. So when I lose track.
Thank you, Bob.
I lose track of where and when these things are happening. We miss it because of COVID, or did they keep going? I don't even remember.
Let's see. When is the next Olympics? I think
The
it's
last
next
one
year.
was during the pandemic, right? So it was kind of.
2024, August.
So he was
Summer.
saying there are some sports that shouldn't be in the Olympics.
But the first one he brought up
Was a
like-
Winter Olympic sport.
Was curling.
Curling, which
Oliver, you don't think curling should be a sport? It's not a sport
No,
to
no.
you.
I think it's tricky in what you call a sport. I think it's interesting that it's an Olympic sport. Because when I think, I guarantee you someone's going to call in and call me out on this. But I don't know, I feel like sports requires some sort of like physical prowess.
Whoa.
And I don't see it with curling.
Bob is an athlete because he bowls.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah,
though,
how
Oliver.
come bowling
You're
isn't?
saying, like, hey, darts, you can understand it's competitive, but Olympic darts would be a weird-ass thing to have.
Yeah.
that's more of a
Or like-
skill though than a sport.
Or like table tennis.
Well, they're
Hey, it's
saying
still
here,
tennis.
I
just
just
on a table.
I will say that Olympic table tennis, one year I got really into watching some of those people and rooting for them. That stuff's insane.
I'm not saying
It's
it doesn't require...
absolutely nuts. The table tennis and then the Olympic badminton, that was insane too. Watching that because I was like, I can't. Well, where else are you gonna watch it? I'm not gonna tune into ESPN on a Saturday and go, man, I really hope badminton is on.
oh boy,
all right, what about cornhole, though? I mean, should cornhole be in the Olympics?
No,
I didn't.
Why
I had
not?
never knew
shouldn't
this.
be in half the bars in this city.
So I searched two things. One, I want to know about pickleball, and the experts think that by 2030, pickleball will overtake tennis and be part of the Olympics.
To be in the Olympics?
I'm
Yeah,
so
by
sick.
But isn't
2030.
the average
That's just a
pickleball
guess.
player 90 years old?
I'm so
Not
sick.
always, not always.
See, for me...
Sorry, Tom. I know that we are stepping on your toes.
Then I texted I searched why isn't bowling an Olympic sport, because they do it all around the world and it is an athletic thing. I mean, you have to exert some.
Please tell me Google said because it's bowling.
According to flowbowling.com, he goes, the IOC has made it clear the Olympics need to appeal to younger people, especially as it relates to television audiences. Bowling simply doesn't yet deliver the younger demographic.
The way curling does.
Yeah, that's what, none of that. Or what's the sport where they walk around on snowshoes and then shoot something?
So instead of the
And
ribbon,
then put their snowshoes back on and walk another mile and then shoot something?
That
What
is in the
that?
Winter Olympics, and that's awesome. Because that actually harkens back to how we used to go get our food in the wintertime. So I understand that part.
You don't think Kyle Troop could bring, younger demographic to the Olympics?
I think that you're saying that
bowling-
Kyle Troop could be, because he's younger and he has louder clothing?
Yeah. He's got a good big personality. Everybody likes to dress up and wear wigs that look so they can look like Kyle Troop.
If you want to attract younger people to the Olympics, you should do the rainy relays or something.
nope.
It would be, you would have to have a real relay race, but part of it is you have to balance over a toilet so your ass doesn't hit the seat, right? Then you have to hit a rail or two.
Right.
You gotta get
In
a
a
little coke,
dirty bathroom?
little coke in the system. Yeah, and that's the thing is, can you get the coke off of just the little part of the toilet flusher that looks clean? It's just that one little part of metal right there, right? Mm-hmm. Or
And you're standing in urine this whole time.
or you're standing on your toes because it feels like it's less urine that way.
I don't know. I think instead of like the ribbon dancing thing,
and
they
then
might
you
go
got
like
what
TikTok
is with
dances.
the ribbon dancing?
You have to avoid an X.
Oh, and she's
So
in the crowd.
that's all that weird movement where you're avoiding an X that you see, where you're like, how do I get out of here to the next bar before I get seen with the new date when my X is over there? Or do you want the X to see you with the new date?
Depends on who I'm dating.
And you have to dodge the serial killer.
That's true.
That takes some energy.
That's true.
I don't know. It would have to be TikTok dances or like wild trends that could end someone's life. That would attract children. Maybe the Olympics is done. Maybe it's
what
cooked.
are some of the other worthless Olympic sports? Like,
I don't know. All of them.
no.
Don't say like gymnastics because that was
Yeah,
that
but
one
that,
lady
but
one
that
year
ribbon
killed it.
dance is part of that.
I think there's something wonderful about the idea of the Olympics, and we're bringing the world together. Except that very quickly after we started the Olympics, let's say, hang on, restarted the Olympics. People started protesting it and saying, well, we're not going to go, and boycotting to fight other countries, which was the opposite of bringing everyone together. And a lot of it's not good television. It's not good television.
I'd like to see like the occupational one, like if there was like a grocery store bagger. I'd like to see that guy, the best one in the world.
Yeah, you got to keep it fair
Boom,
and
boom,
square.
boom, boom,
though.
boom. You know,
Stop making athletics. We all know who the best street fighter in our group is, right? Each of us does. We spend 4 years finding the biggest badass, like a Kimbo Slice MFer from America.
the guy that's not in UFC. Yeah, okay.
But every country figures that out. And then the Olympics is just, we're sending our badass, and you're sending your badasses.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just pit them all together. And then we say, okay, whichever country wins, then for 4 years, nobody in that country has to pay any taxes. All the other countries have to pay a little extra taxes to carry. Now we've got it. Now I care about the Olympics. Now I care about the Olympics. Here's the problem, though. If it's going to be crazy, insane street fighters, Russia's going to win every time because they haven't hugged their babies enough or something.
I don't know.
We've seen the video. You see the videos online.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be somewhere from an area that isn't. I don't like Rio de Janeiro might be a sleeper in that one. I'd probably put some money
Because all the Gracie stuff?
from a dude from Rio. No, just their little. I don't know. I see him taking out a Russian.
So you think Brazil would end up winning it?
I think so. I think Russians, their mindset is a little different right now during wartime.
Did you know that sailing is an Olympic sport? It's called laser sailing, and there are no lasers involved. I have no idea why it's called that. No one does. But isn't the wind doing all the work on that one?
And that's real boring.
I mean,
the dudes that sail around the world?
no,
Like
this
race?
is laser sailing. It's like racing, and it's an Olympic sport.
Is it called laser sailing because you're
we
not
don't-
doing any turns?
I guess so. It must be like sailboat drag racing or whatever. But America never wins, so we never talk about it. But it is a sport.
Well,
'cause
let's get into that. That might be another reason that, like, Americans don't like sports where we don't dominate.
Right.
Americans,
We would love to have American
We got
football
so
in
excited when NBA players got to be in basketball because we were
we
winning
could dunk
games
on
by
everybody.
like 130 to 10, and we were like, see, USA #1. But then you ask anybody in the USA, how do you feel about, first of all, we're so mad at soccer that we call it soccer when nobody else in the world calls it soccer. And we're like, yeah, soccer's stupid. You know why we say that? Because every year at the World Cup, we choke.
we get our
And we're like,
asses
yeah,
handed
it's a
to us,
stupid
yeah.
sport. It doesn't really even matter anyway. Because America cannot handle not winning something.
That's right.
Then for a while, Americans were like, oh, let's have baseball. Let's have international baseball. And you know why we did that and got excited? Because we weren't paying attention to our own teams and we forgot about Cuba and the Dominican Republic.
Japan.
Don't even bring them into this with their squats. So America got really excited and said, oh yeah, we'll dominate at baseball. It's our sport. We host the World Series with one team from Canada, and we call it the World Series. The problem is we even got our asses handed to us a couple times, and then we're like,
Japan?
that's not even a good Olympic sport. That's not a good Olympic. Well, here's the Olympic sport we need: Olympic American style football. Yeah, because we don't like things where we don't dominate.
Right. I agree with
It's the
that.
American way.
There's a thing called the skeleton.
I think that's like bobsleighing.
That's like Bob, but you don't have any. It's just your body.
That's pretty intense if you watch that.
It's 100. You go over 100 miles per hour, and there's no skill needed other than you just got to stay on the track.
Bobsled stays just because of cool runnings.
Right. The biathlon, is that the one I'm talking about? Yeah, that's
think
the one
so.
where they have to shoot.
No, I think Americans like that
the
one because
ski
it
and
involves
shoot.
there's guns
guns.
being shot, and we're like, we're good at that. We're good at that.
What about race walking?
Oh, speed walking?
Yeah, well, we call it race walking.
What are the poles for? They use
balance? I
poles.
guess I don't know.
Balance.
Traction, maybe.
I will say that race walking seems to be an almost ridiculous sport
Because you
that I
have to
don't
monitor
understand.
it too much. Because like, oh, you broke into a run
That
there.
guy skipped.
Yeah.
Like, what's the
For a second.
criteria here to make it an Olympic sport? Because skateboarding is an Olympic sport now, but not like BMXing.
But
So, like, where did you draw that
But
line?
is it an Olympic sport
Or
or
is
is
it
it
an
or is
Is
it
it
a
an exhibition?
exhibition Olympic
Because they've
sport?
had bowling actually, and
I mean, it's going to plan to be in the next ones.
But so they had these things called exhibition where they say, okay,
They
we're going
test
to
it
do
out.
we're going to do like 2 Olympics in a row where we'll include this sport, but you're not an official Olympic sport.
That's a good question, but I'm fairly certain it's like an official Olympic sport now.
I think the problem with skateboarding in something like this is the same problem kind of I have. Well, maybe you'd say, well, then do you have a problem with gymnastics because it's too much about the tricks.
No,
but gymnastics is in a way.
Now
you can
give
inject
all the
a certain amount
skateboarder-
of creativity in the gymnastics, but you have to hit these certain criteria.
Oh,
along
so
the
you're
way.
saying if you're going to have Olympic skateboarding, instead of it being
Just
freestyle, you have to
You gotta
have
do an indie grab.
everybody has to do a what?
I think you're confusing like skateboarding from like 40 years, like freestyle, to like the
Yeah,
Olympic.
man, I'm all about Tony
the
Alva,
Olympic
bitch.
skateboarding that's going on now, which is not freestyle skateboarding.
No, but he is saying, look, if you're going to give a run, you're going to have a bowl, or you're going to have some kind of street scape, right?
Don't smoke a whole bowl before you go to the Olympics.
Or you're going to do half pipe. But you would have to say you have to.
just smoke
You
the
can
pipe.
have 5 experimental moves that you want
Right.
to put in there, but you also have to cover these 5 moves have to be done.
Right.
There's no vert skating in it either. It's all street skating.
It's all street skate?
It's all street skating. It's all stair sets. It's all gaps. It's all rails. Like,
So
that
even
is
then,
all it is.
then I would say, okay, you're required to. They do the same thing when they do like Olympic kayaking, where they're like, you have to be able to do these 8 moves, and then you have space for 3 other moves that you get to do that you get to choose.
Right.
And I
They
think
just got to standardize it so it's equal across the board.
I think it's graded on like a scale, like a 0 to 10. So
Right.
depending on how you land it and like the style is how you get graded on it.
okay.
Yeah, and
It
we
just
also
can't be all like 100%
right, but
subjective.
That's the problem, though, is that it is currently being run subjective, and I think it would be easier for the viewer at home to go, okay, that's there.
Oh, he missed that.
360.
Yeah, right. He missed the rail on that one or whatever. I don't know the lingo that you kids use, but
And it's also back to the like Americans don't like sports that we don't dominate at. We got wrecked at the last Olympics. I think it was Japan, Australia, and Brazil that ended up like
It was
getting-
COVID.
Well, and a big part of that is Japan has a lot more stairs.
Sure, but what do Brazilians have to skate, man? I mean, they're skating roads that aren't that well paved. So, I mean,
That's the thing, is the American kids, they don't want it bad enough. Not enough kids are going to skate camp.
Yeah, they're given options here in America. That's the issue.
Also, you know what? If I was going to say, well, let's add guns to it, but the Brazilians would actually be really good at that too.
yeah.
Let's
Your
see
thoughts about
how
accurate.
why Rich called in.
What's up, Rich?
Not much, boys. How you doing this morning? Congrats on your award.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Congratulations on already having a great call so far.
Thanks, boys. I'm calling to help you guys out with the Asian squad. You got a little bit of it wrong.
Okay.
So you've got it right where your ass touches your heels, but from there you want to put your forearms on top of your knees, and you want to have a phone in one hand and a cigarette in the other hand. That's it.
Okay. There we go. That is the official Asian squat. Phone in one hand, cigarette in the other,
right.
forearms on the knees, ass touches ankles, heels are on the ground.
That's Asian squat modified.
What if we didn't have that? What if we did not have squatting as an Olympic event? How long can you hold that squat? And how many cigarettes can you smoke? You have to get
Right.
down at least 8 cigarettes an hour.
send out 5 emails on your phone? Yeah.
You got to make it as dangerous as possible. I want it next to like an unopened gas of like gasoline.
Why? Oh, because you're smoking next to the gas.
Yeah.
Oh, you want the danger element.
Yeah.
Like lava, over lava. Like you're on a balance beam over lava
Slow down
or
there,
something.
buddy. It's like next to an open like car engine that's on. Just make it progressively like more dangerous.
What's with your generation?
Make it interesting.
But why do you need the stakes so high?
If it's a battle to the death, be a whole lot cooler, man.
I think your generation finding a place you can afford to rent is already enough of a struggle.
Hey,
why do
hey,
you need
hey,
to have
hey,
fire?
I just bought a house.
Did you
so
really?
I did.
Hey, congrats.
You're getting paid way too much in whatever you're doing here. I can tell you that right now.
It's the unbearable weight of talent.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Good God Almighty.
Well, he believes it too.
I know he
That's
believes
the
it.
thing,
Get him
he
out of here.
believes it.
I cannot even.
I like it, man. The kid's got drip.
How did you afford the house? How'd you
Or
afford the down
generational
payment?
wealth.
I bought it cash, my boy.
You bought it with cash?
No, I didn't.
Is it a single or double wide?
I don't know what that means.
You got took.
Where was it manufactured? What factory was it manufactured in?
Palm Harbor? Who you got?
I got it off one of those Sears catalog. I'm building it myself.
Oh, nice.
No, I'm not. No, I'm definitely not.
Hey, I've seen some of those 3D printed houses. I'm actually kind of
I can hook
leaning
you up.
that
I
way.
get you like a 2%
That would
discount.
take me 30 years for that little 3D printer you got to build me.
No, my buddy works over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get that going.
There's even a competing company now that's building an entire neighborhood over in Round Rock, Texas. That's the best thing. I mean, I'm sorry for your buddy but competition's going to be what brings the prices down too, and we start seeing a lot more of them go up,
Right.
up in a hurry. Now we're getting off the subject. We do have giveaways today. We have one last. Do we have one last, Bob? One last Piranha give today?
Yeah. I've got Metallica, 72 seasons.
Not the one that you took home and opened, huh?
No, this is different. This is one I got from Piranha. The other one came from the radio
Yeah,
station.
this one is not the one he opened. Ignore the duct tape on it when you get it. This one's brand new, everybody.
Don't worry about the scratches. It makes it sound better. No, this is shrink wrapped, ready to go.
We have a giveaway every day counting down to our 50th anniversary.
I guess we have to take the 72nd caller.
Speaking of 50th anniversaries, welcome to Waterloo Media Latino
Welcome back.
93.3. Is it the same playlist that we used to have on Latino 102.7?
Shouts out to La Raza.
Shout out to
Anyway,
Manny.
we got a new station in the building that just launched a couple of minutes ago. That's why our hallway is so busy today. Everyone had to come. Oh, we got to be here when the iPad turns on.
Do we have a famous DJ working there or
thank you
something?
to-
Why is everybody in the hallway?
Yes, there's a famous DJ named Siri.
Is there cake?
I don't know if there's cake.
I hope there's cake.
Thank you to Brenda, who brought us egg sandwiches for P. Terry's
very-
because of her anxiety.
Thank
I
you
think.
very much.
512-834-0937.
Get your name on that Metallica. Yeah, we'll
This-
take the 72nd because it's 72 seasons.
So we'll take the 72nd caller.
Right. What's the phrase that pays?
La Raza.
Okay.
72nd person who calls and says La Raza will get the 72 seasons Metallica LP.
LP on vinyl.
It's in-house. You
Double
can
album.
come and pick it up. Well, we got to get your name. That means, hey, you don't have to take the 72 calls and everybody says La Raza.
I might not even take a
Just
call.
dump 71 calls, take the 72nd caller and see if they say La Raza, the phrase that pays. Yesterday, someone we didn't give the prize to because they were like, what tickets did I win? We're like, you're not even calling for the right thing.
You don't even know.
Stop listening. Wait, don't do that.
I can't wait till we get Oliver fired. And then
I don't understand. We got to plant some drugs on him
kill
or
you.
something.
got to do something.
What do y'all wanna do?
We didn't even interrogate him about the missing Lincoln Park box set.
Oh, I bet he
Oh,
stole
no.
that.
Yeah, that was me. I have
Hey.
it at home.
Say he hugged you for too long one time or something like that.
He says
You
he's
could
got
go
it.
up there.
Did you really take the 72, the Lincoln Park?
I did.
Did you really?
I
Really?
told you!
I got that thing on me, bro.
I won! I knew it. I said it's two people. I don't want to say
Why
the
did
other
you
person.
take
I suspect.
that?
I want to look at the inside. I don't have a vinyl player, by the way. I
50% of people that have vinyl don't have a turntable. That's a fact.
Is
That's a
this
stat.
really happening right now?
I wanted to see the inside. That's one of my
Bro,
favorite
I can't
records.
believe y'all let this guy get away with anything, and no
Anything.
one's fought him
Anything.
yet. No one's done any late.